All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here again. So I'm going to try to make this video short, under 10 minutes, keep it nice and quick update for you guys. But today was a pretty important day. We saw that liquidity flush to the downside, that quick flash crash to the downside. And we are seeing some concerning things on the chart here. So once again, I'm going to go back to this logarithmic cycle channel on Bitcoin because it is so important and is still highly relevant for what's happening today and in the next coming weeks here. So we can see, let me actually just get rid of this real quick. All right, so we can see that Bitcoin wicked above yesterday. We broke 100K. We wicked up to about 104K, 104.7-ish. But today we had that flash crash down to about 92K, and on some exchanges, actually, it was quite a bit more than other exchanges. I think Bybit had a much bigger retrace than Coinbase did. Anyways, what we're looking at here, you can see I have this marked out right now. Possible weekly bearish divergence confirming. If we close this weekly candle this week back within this channel, and this momentum wave tops out and starts rolling over, and we confirm weekly bearish divergence, money flow looks like it's topping out. We might start rolling over on money flow at the top of this major cycle trend channel. We could see a correction back down to the 70s, you guys, back down to 69 to 70K here, which is right where the value area high of that 8th month range is. But these last prior all-time highs are so important. Let me turn on my magnet here. These last prior highs are so important because now they're going to be acting as a new support if we do decide to correct over the next week or two and just come back down, flush out some of the leverage that's in the market, scare everybody, come back down. It would be healthy for us to come back down to retest this to continue higher up to that 111K level, 112K. One of the things I want to show you guys, and I mentioned this to Jason the other day in his VIP live stream, and I'm going to mention it. I mentioned it to you guys also in the Discord, but I'm going to mention this again. The total market cap. So this chart here is the total market cap of all crypto, including Bitcoin. This one is. And this is important because also we can understand when to take profits on alts and Bitcoin based off of when this total market cap hits resistance and support, because it does seem to be respected as well. So I'm going to zoom in here to the daily chart. You guys can see that we've been in this trend. I've been using this pitchfork as a trend to discover where this possible take profit zones are. And the other day during the VIP live stream, when I talked about it, we were not quite touching the top band of the pitchfork yet. We were like within dollars of it, within, a few $100s of it, maybe a few $1,000s if you're looking at this scale, but we hadn't quite touched it yet. Well, when we pumped up last night to 100K, to 104K, we actually came to within this band, which is actually hitting the resistance. And you can see anytime we hit this resistance, we do see some sort of reaction, and we're seeing major reactions on daily time frames. On every time we get to one of these levels, we see some sort of reaction. Bitcoin is also due for a correction. We are seeing bearish divergence. I know we're seeing divergences. Here's a triple drive of bearish divergence on the daily time frame as well. Looks like money flow is topping out on the total market cap. I would not be surprised, you guys, and I'm bullish as well, but we need healthy corrections in a bullish market in order to sustain healthy price action. I actually wouldn't be surprised if we do see some sort of rotation back down to this midline, hold the midline, and then continue up to the top. Move this here, and we continue to the top of the channel where we could be topping out for the cycle. So we could do something like this, chop around in here for a week or two, pump up to the top, which is around 6K, I believe, $6 trillion, I believe. Yeah, about actually 4.5 trillion. And then we can see another bigger correction to the downside. This might take a few weeks to happen. Bitcoin could be topping out around 120 there. 128 is a big key level. 145.5 is another big level I'm looking at on Bitcoin for maybe a cycle high. So I'm going to go back to Bitcoin here. Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. This is that weekly channel, but we're going to be zoomed in here. And you can see that we are still chopping right around the top of this channel. And we might form a range here. It might form either a distribution pattern and dump to the downside to retest these prior highs, flip them to support, or we could chop around here in a reaccumulation and keep pumping, depending if this is not the end of the fifth wave, we could do that as well. Really, time will tell. And this weekly close, I cannot stress how important this weekly close is now that we have wicked above it. But if we close back within this channel, and you can see even today on that flash crash, we wicked down below, but we were able to hold and close the daily above this channel, which is telling me that Bitcoin still has some strength left, that Bitcoin is still trying to hold on to this bullish momentum. But it is important. We are at the top. We are at resistance on the total market cap. Total market cap is due for a correction. We might see some profit taking here. People were buying at 16K, 30K, 40K. And, as far as ETF guys, the big guys, they're happy with 100% move in a year and 6 months, really. So they'll take some profit. They'll do their adjustments, tax loss harvesting or profit taking on these ETFs, and then rebalance at the start of next quarter of 2025. That's one thing I'm concerned about here. If we go to total 3 market cap, which is the market cap of all altcoins, not including Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is just altcoins, because I consider ETH is kind of like a blue chip like Bitcoin now. It's kind of one of the big dogs. You can see here, another pitchfork that we've been really respecting really, really well. Every time we touch a major level of it, especially this midline, we get major corrections. We chop within this band, and you will see deviations within these bands. You see the first time we hit into this band, this is what could be happening on total market cap right now. But the first time we hit into that band, we saw a pretty big correction. We saw a few days of correction. We came up to these last prior highs, held them as support, kept pumping to the top. But now we're pretty much at the top of the pitchfork. Once again, just like with that total market cap yesterday, we are front running it just by a little. So it is possible we come back up again. We come back up just a little bit higher to actually hit the resistance. That is when I will be looking to take some profits on altcoins, some of these spot bags that I bought. And sure, they could keep pumping without me. They could rotate into micro caps. We have to learn to take profit when our bags are up. We're never going to catch the exact top, and we're never going to catch the exact bottom unless you're Jason Casper or Bitcoin Hyper. So that's something we need to be aware of, you guys. Be happy with multiple X's, or even 1X, 2X. If you were buying, Chainlink at $10, $11 like I was, be happy taking profits. Wait for a correction. There will always be corrections. Buy on the corrections and then ride up the next leg of the bull market. Okay, so today in the Discord, I posted, and this is going to be the Bybit chart. I'm going to go down to the 4-hour time frame. And I wanted to show you, because we'd been trading in this really important descending channel. On the 4-hour time frame, we hit that first initial like 99.5K high. We had that initial drop to 91K, and then we pumped back up. We saw the midline hold really, really well. And as soon as we saw the midline hold, we pumped up, we found resistance again, found resistance a third time. Yesterday, last night, my time anyways, West Coast time here in the United States, we pumped to that 105K, but today we saw this flash crash, and we came back within the channel. We front ran some key liquidity. We front ran liquidity here. Actually, no, we took that one. It was this one here and actually Bybit hit the liquidity, but Coinbase front ran that liquidity. So when all exchanges don't get in, there tends to be another drop to the downside, so the other exchanges can get in. And we know the big boys are playing on Coinbase. Coinbase did not take the liquidity, Bybit did. So that's something important to keep in mind. All right, so you can see right now, 4-hour chart, we are still 16 minutes away from closing this candle. This 4-hour candle close is really, really important. But right now, if we do not close this candle back above this channel, we could be seeing reacceptance back into the channel, and we can continue to range within this channel here for a little while, range down, maybe come down, take the SFP, the liquidity of this low, which is a very important low as well. And actually, what I would much rather prefer is if we chopped for a few days, maybe over the weekend, chopped down in here sideways over the weekend until this SFP lined up with the bottom of the channel more perfectly, then we could pump up. So we're going to be aware of time as well, and this is something that we could see in a ranging market over the weekend while we range. So 15 minutes left. Let's see how this candle closes. Let's see if we get reacceptance back into this channel. If we do, we might expect some of a range, might expect some of a pullback. There's a lot of imbalances that were created in this wick that we might come back and fill these imbalances in here. Total market cap is at resistance here. Total 3 is at resistance. Actually, not quite yet. So see if we zoom into the 4-hour, we can go a little bit higher on these altcoins. So we might get one more little push up while Bitcoin is ranging over the weekend. Altcoins might get one more pump up. And then when Bitcoin finally starts its correction, then altcoins will start to correct as well. So just want to harp on this one more time. Going back to the weekly time frame, Bitcoin is still kind of respecting this channel, trading within this channel. We are holding right above it. But if we close the week on Sunday within this channel, a red, at that point, it would pretty much be like a gravestone candle. We might see a rotation to the downside to 70K, to 71K, 74K, this little box of support here that was the last value area high of this range as well. If we take the fixed range volume pull of this range right before the breakout, you can see the value area high lines very, very nicely. Actually, let me zoom in here. Let me get a better pull on that. So you can see how well the value area high is aligning with the last prior all-time high. Pretty much perfect confluence. So I would not be surprised, you guys, if in a healthy market, it's going to be a couple months till Donald Trump gets in, till regulation happens, that we see some sort of healthy correction over the next few weeks down to the 69, 70K levels. Flip this to support on a higher time frame and then continue upwards. That's something I'm watching. Let me know if you guys have any questions on this. Hope this helps. Have a good one, you guys.